Please welcome to the show, Mr. Duffy. Hi, Fran.
Hey, Fran. Fran, I feel like, man, every time we lose, it's like suck the energy out the room. Shit is a cold night.
Yeah, that was a tough one, guys. I mean, defensively, I loved a lot of what we saw. Honestly, this game went like thematically kind of how I expected coming in. I thought that this would be a relatively low-scoring game. I thought it would be a lot of field goals kicked in the game, and the Eagles. Look, their only real explosive play in the game. We'll look at it, but the only real explosive play in the game was essentially like a trick play. They ran a fake tush push on a toss play, but after that they were not able to sustain any kind of offense against a heavy zone, split safety, like the heavy disguise type of defense, and they just could not sustain anything through the air. I mean, through the ground. I mean, they were able to get things going a little bit, but yeah, that was a rough watch once again on offense.
Well, obviously, let's stick with the offense here, and we'll get to the Saquon play in a minute, Fran. But it did feel like there were a couple instances tonight where Jalen was able. They did the under center play action, and Jalen ripped a couple throws over the middle. That was there, but aside from that, really the only thing they did was try those balls to A.J. Brown down the left sideline, those go balls, and that probably speaks to what you're saying of they kind of are who we thought they were.
Yeah, it's like, not season on the line, but you get it. I mean, the ultimate vibes on the line, and it's like third down, like gotta have it. It's like go ball down the left sideline. It's like
a true Con Air make a move where the bunny gets it. Like you're gonna
the bunny.
The bunny's gonna
and
get it.
And that's how they respond. They go ball to A.J. Brown.
Yeah, it's obviously look, they come out first play of the game, vertical throw to A.J. Brown. It's I was interested to see like what some of the answers would be, after the extra time, the extra rest, reported changes potentially behind the scenes. Yeah, it was more the same from the side. I'm interested to see like, all right, go to the film and see some of the things that just didn't work out. But based off what we saw on TV, it was obviously it was not a great showing from this passing game.
Fran, I was telling them it's hard to believe Saquon over 100 yards, A.J. Brown over 100 yards, Dallas got it over 78 yards. It's just hard to believe that we lost this game.
And I'm sure that both Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts will point to the fact that it's the turnovers, and it'll be like, oh, you guys, this is why we put so much stress on turnovers. Yeah, a wise man does avoid all extremes. We can say that we can be, turn up the heat a little bit without throwing 4 picks, and find other sustainable ways of offense. And again, it's when you look at the way that they build things out in the pass game, there's not a wide margin for error. And so on this one, Jalen was on the wrong side of that for sure.
So do you? I mean, there were 4 interceptions that he threw in this game. Are you willing to take some culpability off him on any of them? I mean, the AJ one, AJ should catch that ball, even though it's a bit of a hospital ball.
That's the one. That would be the one.
Yeah,
that's it. The other ones were nonsensical. Like he didn't even see them.
I mean, the one that. To me, if you're going to point to the one that was targeted to Devontae Smith, where he slipped on the play, going back, and again, we only got the one real replay angle of it. The ball was inside, so I think Devontae slipped as he was trying to react to the ball being thrown inside. But this is also like a concept that they run over and over and over and over again, a route that they run at a higher rate than anybody, as Daniz has pointed out, running one of these hitch routes against an off-zone coverage corner where he's just going to squat on it. Dante Jackson's a vet in this league. He's played for a handful of years, and he knows, all right, this is a route that they like to run, and if I'm playing from 8 yards depth, I'm going to trigger on this thing fast. And so he put himself in position to be able to make that play. The ball wasn't great. I would say that the play call, obviously the predictability of it added to it. But to me, the other interceptions were. That's tough to swallow if you're Jalen Hurts.
All right, well, let's get to the biggest play of the game, which was the final play of the game. What did you see? What do you think that Jalen saw? And can you defend the decision making at all?
Sully's like 7 foot tall. You can't throw in his direction, Fran.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, look, Cam Hart's not far away from that. He's got one of the largest wingspans, some of the longest arms of any corner drafted in the last decade. He's 33-inch long arms when he got drafted out of Notre Dame in 2024. So this is a guy that is a big, long corner. And when you have that kind of length and you play a lot of zone coverage, the idea of it is that you are going to shrink those windows down. And so here on this play, and Lindsay, let's just go to the first one. It's OT, INT, 1. What you're going to see on this play, and this is the thing that's just the kick in the gut about it, is that this is like their bread and butter. This has been one of their best plays. They hit Devontae Smith for 30 yards on this play last week. Now, this time you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to the left on the opposite side. They're blocking in case this ball is handed off. You have Dallas Goedert running the flat, and you have Jahan Dotson running essentially that corner route there at the top of the screen. Now, on this play, Jalen Hurts first is going to read the backside defensive end. He's going to read Khalil Mack, and he's going to decide, am I going to play the pass concept here and throw the two-man route at the top, or am I going to hand this ball off to Saquon Barkley? Now, pretty good double team at the point of attack. Unfortunately, there might have been some room there to operate if this ball was handed off. But let's go to the next shot, and you're going to see, all right, Jalen keeps it. So now essentially, and look, you run this concept knowing like, all right, this is a high volume cover 2 team. With cover 2, you're going to have a corner clouded there in the flat, and that's who it is. So you got that corner circled at the top. That's Cam Hart. Great length, ball skills. He's tough. He's pretty instinctive. Not the best man-to-man athlete, but if you're playing cover 2 zone, like this is a nice spot for him to be in if you're the Chargers. And if you're Jalen, you're reading off of him. If he's playing a little bit heavy to the flat, taking away Goddard, then you should have a window over top to be able to hit Dotson. If he's playing this a little bit more conservatively and he's getting depth, well, then you should dump this off to Dallas Goedert in the flat, and you're playing for second and medium. Jalen's going to hold this ball a little bit. He starts to feel a little bit of pressure. We'll go to the next shot here. He's starting to feel a little bit of pressure. Khalil Mack's breathing down his throat. And you could see, all right, Cam Hart is probably cheating a little bit more to the flat here than he is to the corner. But again, that's where his length comes into play. It's going to take a good throw on the move with a defender bearing down. Again, running a concept that the other team knows you run a lot and you run often, and you've run it a lot in the last few weeks as well. And so let's go to the next shot. He tries to squeeze this in, and that's where the length comes into play. Cam Hart takes that window away. He knocks it up, and Jefferson's able to come down with the interception. So that's the tough part about it, guys, is that this is supposed to be like their easy button throw, right? Like outside of wide receiver screens on 3rd and long is like, we're going to throw the RPO on 1st and 2nd down and try and pick up easy yardage. This wasn't a straight drop back pass. This wasn't under center play action deep shot. Like this was supposed to be, all right, green light, positive, stay ahead of the sticks, and it ends up being the turnover that cost him the game.
Mechanically, on that play, the fact that he's like falling away and leaning back and sort of trusting his arm in that window feels like not what he would be coached to do there. Is that fair?
Yeah, my guess is that they're going to tell him you want that throw back. That would be my guess. Maybe it looks a little bit different through the all-22. And like I said, when you're looking at it from just from where I did that freeze frame, you kind of see like, all right, like as he's getting ready to throw the football, he's cheating a little bit more to the flat. But to your point, yeah, like he's falling away from the throw a little bit. He does have Khalil Mack in his face. I would guess that they're going to grade him on, and I'll be interested to look at the end zone angle of it. Grade him on the initial read. Like, all right, should this have been a give to Saquon Barkley here on this play? I will say the double team at the point of attack from, like I said, from Steen and from Juergens, those guys were like 5 yards downfield. There's an outside chance like a flag is thrown on that play if the ball's caught for those guys being illegal downfield as well, which would have been a whole different set of circumstances. So, just not great, Bob.
Well, the good news is Nick Sirianni just said on the podium that Kevin Patullo, and Jalen Hurts are going to be very critical of themselves. So we got that going for us.
Join the club.
You're critical of yourself?
Always. I mean, you have to. That's the only way to get better.
Of course. All right. How about the unprecedented in NFL history play in which Jalen commits 2 turnovers on the same play? This is, I feel like, exactly what you warned us about in the pregame show.
Yeah, when you get to third down, this is where they can get a little bit funky with what they do, and it's not just like oh they send a ton of pressure. It's going to be those sim pressures, those exchange pressures, where they're going to show one thing, then they pull it back, they send guys from depth, and yeah, it's 3rd and 1, and that's exactly what they do on here on this play. Let's go to the first one. This is hand INT. It's a cool play from the Chargers. I like that. And we're going to look at it. Deshaun Hand is the one that's going to make the interception. He's a defensive tackle lined up over Landon Dickerson. Now, it's 3rd and 1 in the red zone. And the Eagles here on this play, they call a play that is pretty well known, a PHLY juke, and this was like a New England Patriots like Tom Brady staple in the middle of the field. It actually the first touchdown pass Carson Wentz ever threw to Jordan Matthews, Week 1, 2016 against the Cleveland Browns, was on this play. Matthews is on the left side, and you could see. Let's go to the next shot because I drew up a couple of the routes. You're going to basically get mirrored routes on the outside where you've got slot fades from the 2 slot receivers, and then you've got hitches on the outside. And the hitches on the outside are basically meant to hold those cover 2 corners. And in an ideal world, you've got a wide receiver in Devontae Smith one-on-one with a safety at the top. And here you've got Jahan Dotson. Now, Dotson is interesting. He kind of I don't know if he's doing this to attack the leverage. He brings this route further inside than you normally would see on this play. But it doesn't matter because Jalen is looking at AJ. Now, AJ is running the juke route here on this play, which is essentially, it's not an option route, but you're essentially running like he's going to break down, he's going to sell like he's going to work one way, and then he's going to work back the other way. And this would be the Wes Welker route. Would be Aaron Hernandez. This would be, think back to and it's those guys that typically quick and shifty, get in and out of breaks. You want that athleticism, that quick separation ability. Love AJ Brown. That's not at the top of the list when you talk about his strengths, right? This would be, in my opinion, switch Devontae and AJ here on this play, right? AJ Brown, you run the fade with, have Devontae work in the middle of the field against a safety or against a linebacker. It's a safety in this case because they're in their dime defense on third down. Now it doesn't matter because the Chargers dial up a perfect call to defend the juke route. Let's go to the next shot. And they're going to drop both of their defensive tackles into the short intermediate area. And obviously that's right into the window. Now, Troy Aikman said this is I don't know how he didn't see this. I'm not sure why Jalen didn't see this because both tackles drop into this window. But he's looking at AJ the entire way. I'm interested to see, because I wanted to be able to see all right, what exactly were the matchups? And since I couldn't quite see everybody, what is it that dictated to Jalen? All right, I'm going to work the juke route. My guess is it's 3rd and 1, and it's all right, I'm not going to throw the fade here on 3rd and 1. But again, it's AJ running that route. You have 2 defensive tackles dropping right into the window, and Jalen puts it right into the breadbasket of Deshaun Hand, and Hand returns it back. And yeah, right there you can see. Thank you, Lindsay. So he puts it right under Deshaun Hand, and this ends up being a turnover. The first time the Eagles don't score in a goal-to-go situation all season long.
You had to get that in there.
Not that anyone was tracking it.
Of course, you had to. Okay, let's at least break down the good play from the offense, which you called a bit of a trick play. Yeah, I think it was good coaching. First play of the 4th quarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Short yardage, and they catch the Chargers off guard.
No question. They came out.
Too. Yes.
This was one of the first times where we could say the fact that they came up with very little time left on the clock and kind of hurried it up, they played to their advantage.
Right,
here.
they did this on purpose.
And let's go to the first shot here. It's Saquon 1. They come out in a tackle over set, and tackle over meaning that you've got a tackle from one side sent over to the other side of the formation to line up inside the other tackle. So Jordan Mailata is lined up essentially as a tight end here on this play. And then you've got Fred Johnson lined up inside. And that gives you a clear run strength that you're going to run behind on this play. If they had come out, typically, if they had come out, not hurried up here on this play, now the Chargers have time to react and, slide the front over and adjust the run fit. But because they ran up to the line and did this fast, that you can catch them off guard a little bit. So nice job here from the Eagles where they line up in this way. Let's go to the next shot. And essentially what you're running here is you're going to pull Jordan Mailata out to that side, and you're going to have Dallas Goedert leading the way to take out the force player. He's going to kick out that corner on the outside there, and he does a nice job here on this play. You get a down block from Fred Johnson. You get both wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Darius Cooper, doing a nice job there as well. There's a little bit of miscommunication, but overall, like they were able to tighten it up. They were able to get this clean, and you've got Saquon Barkley getting up to the next level. And let's go to the last one, and you get both receivers. And Cooper did the best job, I would say, from this group. But all of those guys did what they needed to do. But I would say the big thing here on this one was coming out in that tackle over set, running behind those guys. You definitely caught the Chargers off guard on that snap, and you're able to pay it off with an explosive play, the longest play of the day for either team, or no, for the Eagles there, 52-yarder there to score on the first play of the fourth quarter.
All right, so what's your level of confidence they can turn things around on offense, Fran?
Yeah. I mean, I was the highest on the panic meter a couple weeks ago, and they have done nothing in the last 2 weeks to get me off that. So time's ticking, like time's running out. Yeah, I mean, I'm at out of a scale of 1 to 10, like I'm at like a 9.5. Like I don't know that things are going to get fixed.
Okay,
unfortunately,
but at least they have the defense and the defensive line, which was very good in this game. Any big takeaways from that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, when it looked like they were tracking to win this game, I was like, oh man, tomorrow I'm going to do all the sacks for the defense. You know, they sacked Herbert 7 or 8 times. I thought they did some cool stuff from like freeing up Nakobe Dean. That was one of the plays I ended up scrapping just because of the interception. But the sack fumble for Nakobe Dean, it was like the ISO ball, like in basketball, like where I spread the court and we're just going to get him one-on-one with the running back. It was perfectly done from a front standpoint. You put somebody right over the nose, and you had him take away the center. You had the other guard occupied by the other defensive tackle, and you just shot Nakobe right through and said, yeah, your running back cannot block me one-on-one, and I'm going to show you once again. And so it was a great rep there from Nakobe, great scheming there from Fangio and from the defensive staff. They had another one where they had Bond creeping up on the one side and then sent Nakobe from the other and dropped Bond out. So some good creativity, but then also like good gap discipline. There was a couple sacks that went down to Jalix and to Nolan that were just like, hey, we're gonna flush Herbert up. We know that he's going to scramble, and he obviously he had made an impact with his legs today. But a couple of them where he was able to step into sacks from the defense as well. So just good examples of the overall gap discipline there from the defensive front.
Did you see anything on the final 2 Chargers drives where Herbert's legs all of a sudden start to become a big factor? Anything in particular he was getting Vic on? I know Jalen Phillips sort of read the handoff a few times.
Yeah, the one was a designed like zone read, the first one, and then the second one I'd have to go back and take a look at it. But yeah, there were a few where he just was. I mean, he's able to shake off contact and make plays, kind of like shaking off a would-be tackler. But then also like he's very decisive, and we talked about that. He's been one of the best, like on a pure EPA per scramble basis. Like has been one of the best in the league this year. That's been one of the strengths of his game, and this one was an all-timer for him in that category.
Okay.
I definitely believe that. I like when the scrambles and the design keeps that he did keep it on the zone read. Fran, I feel like they ain't believing like oh, he got a broke hand, he ain't gonna pull it. But goddamn, he pulled it the right couple of seconds. Like, that was crazy. So,
yeah, I mean that's to me like
the way the D line was teeing off.
That's all. I pulled up the next gen stats. Following up, Jamie, I know you said you saw the one where it was like the highest pressure rate like ever. It ended up being 68.3%, the highest pressure rate of any quarterback faced this season from next gen stats. So yeah, I mean they had him under constant duress. They got him down to the ground a handful of times, and some of them too were like a scramble for 1 yard, scramble for 2 yards, which essentially you're going to get as a sack as well. There was a couple incompletions that could have very easily been sacks. So. Yeah, defensively there was a lot to like, and offensively we're still trying to get off the ground and trying to find the identity here for that side of the ball.
Fran, why can't they get a damn play call in time?
Well, and that's one of the tricky parts too about if they changed the operation at all in the last 10 days. Like if they changed any of that. now you're essentially starting from ground zero, right? And so that I'm sure is something that guys are being asked about right now. If there was, it sounds like Patullo was still the play caller, but if there was any kind of change, like in terms of it going from Sirianni to Patullo to Jalen, that adds another layer of complexity there.
Fran, as a follow-up to that, why the hell would you call a screen pass with 2:15 remaining in the game out of a timeout and essentially give the Chargers a free timeout?
I got nothing for you there, man.
Right.
There were a handful of those where I was there was one in the first half where they were speechless, literally speechless. And then there was obviously, and you guys talked about it at halftime, but again, like just you have 2 timeouts and you act like you have none with that play call for no reason whatsoever.
And what's crazy about that too is that they were originally going to send Elliott out with 7 seconds left to kick the field goal. You still had 2 timeouts. Go get 10 yards. Go get 15 yards. Go get 6 yards. Like, what are you doing?
And to your point, who knows?
Of course,
the kick is exactly the same. But like that kick's good from 38.
Yeah,
that kick's good from 40, from 43. Right? Like there was that close.
Yes.
And it would have been nice. I'm sure if they said, hey, like we're going to give you the ball at the at midfield with a chance to kick a 48-yard field goal. Do you guys want a chance at this? They would probably say, yeah. At the end of the game, it would be nice to have those 3 points.
Fran, are the Raiders at least a slump buster? Do we have something to look forward to?
I'm sure they're saying the same thing right now in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, man. Just a couple weeks. Fran, just a couple of weeks ago, we were so excited about the Chip Kelly game coming back to the link. Chip Kelly get canned, and then we put up a performance like this. It's kind of like
the last laugh.
Like, damn.
All right, Fran, go ahead.
I was gonna say this going into it feels like the 2023 for the Cardinals coming to the link.
Oh no!
And in return.
Oh man.
Oh,
that's exactly right. It's like, okay, well, surely we will wake up. Game. We will come out of it. There's a really bad team coming here. There's even a little bit of a connection.
Yep.
You're absolutely right.
The defense was the problem then, right? And offense now. So they flip-flopped.
Oh man.
Cool.
How about them Cowboys?
That's your team. Your team since the preseason, Bo.
Oh, man. All right, Fran. Well, you're going to break it all down for us on the PHLY Eagles regular show tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Hopefully you get some sleep. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for joining us on Fran's Film Room, presented by Ashley.
All right, Fran.
Guys, talk to you later.
See you, Fran.